to subprograms and also supplied an explicit free operation known as unchecked deallocation. If we take a close consideration on ADA 95, we can understand that it extended the ADA 83 mechanism, allowing pointers to declared objects and also to subprograms. The ADA 2005 version has taken things a bit further, for example, making it easier to pass subprograms as runtime parameters. And ADA uses the term access types because pointers and references have a hardware level connotation. During the level of implementation, the representation of an access value might be different from a physical pointer. Now, it's time to discuss the usages of pointers. One of the uses of pointers is to provide shared access to common data in memory, which will bring resource efficiency. Build dynamic data structures such as a dynamic array that can grow. This is crucial to dynamic memory allocation. And one of the other usages of pointers is to control allocation and deallocation of memory. This will provide the ability to manipulate memory addresses. And when a program is loaded, memory is reserved for identifiers and program elements. But the actual value of the address is generally not important to the programmer. Let me now introduce you the pointer types. If we consider the smart pointers, which are objects that are designed to look, act and feel like built-in pointers, but to offer greater functionality such as automatic garbage collection or bounds checking. Next, we'll take a look at the use of smart pointers compared to normal pointer. Additional features in smart pointers are intended to reduce bugs caused by the misuse of pointers while retaining efficiency. Thus, the smart pointers can facilitate intentional programming by expressing the use of a pointer in the type itself. But you have to consider that if the language supports automatic garbage collection, for instance in Java, then the use of a smart pointer is unnecessary. Another type of pointers is opaque pointers, which is a special case of opaque data type, a data type that is declared to be a pointer to a record or data structure of some unspecified type. And an opaque pointer is used when you want to give an object to somebody but you don't want them to have the slightest clue what it is. It hides the implementation and the interface. A fact obviously this benefits the programmer as well, since a simple interface can be created and most details can be hidden in another file. This is significant for providing binary code compatibility through different versions of a shared library. A fact to consider is that opaque pointers are present in several programming languages including Ada, C, C++, and Modula 2. When we consider the visibility and access of opaque pointers, all types and variables defined in an interface section of a module are visible to the programs using the module. A transparent data type, as they are called, is both visible and accessible. Variables declared to be opaque or private can be passed as parameters and assigned to one another, but cannot be accessed in any other way. Let's now take a look at the usages of pointers. Opaque and private data types are language features that can be used with modules to provide true encapsulation. I feel it is the right time to elaborate on pointers to functions. We can declare pointers which can point to functions in C language. In order to work with functions, it requires to use an function pointer. The example below shows an integer pointer pt to function which has been declared to point to an integer function which has parameters of float, char and char data types respectively. Let's now take a look at on how to assign an memory address to a function pointer. Here we have two integer functions doIt and doMore. Then we assign the memory address of doIt function to the function pointer. And using an if condition statement, we can easily compare two pointers which point to the same memory location. And also using a function pointer, we can call a function and pass values to a function as shown here. Here, the below code segment suggests that a function pointer can be passed to a function as an function's calling argument. In here, the asterisk p is the function pointer and it is passed as an argument to the function bubble, which doesn't return any value. In pointers to functions, if our main priority is make sure that our sort routine data type is independent, one way of doing this is to use pointers to type void to point to the data instead of using an integer data type. Hence, we can modify the above coding and use pointers with it. Let's now discuss about pointers and constants. Here, S is a char array which contains the string hello. Here, PC is a pointer which points to the constant S. Here, the character G is to be assigned to the index 3 of the array. But this is incorrect because you cannot change the value of the constant S. But in here, the character P is assigned to the pointer, so this is fine. In this code segment, a constant pointer CP is created which points the char array S. But in here, assigning the character A to the index 3 of the array is fine. But assigning character P to the pointer is incorrect because this is a constant pointer. Let me now introduce you pointers and dynamic allocation of memory. The malloc function is used to dynamically allocate memory in C language, and this diagram depicts how the memory is allocated. In here, we create an integer pointer frequencies and an integer variable num. The printf statement prompts the user to input the number of frequencies, and the scanf function will read the user input and store the value inside variable num. Here, using malloc function, the memory will be allocated according to the size of variable num value, and then we assign the pointer frequencies to point to an array of integers. When using the malloc function, it requires the size to be allocated in memory. The memory will be allocated in bytes, and malloc function returns a void pointer which is a valid address of the memory allocated, but of no specific type, because malloc function doesn't know what data type the memory allocated will be used for. And then the void pointer which will be returned is cast to become an integer pointer using the int asterisk cast operator, so that the memory allocated will be used to store integers. As I mentioned before, the malloc function requires the size to be allocated in bytes. The size in bytes of an integer variable is returned by the size of function. This is multiplied by num variable, the num of integers required. So the number of bytes needed for the integer array are allocated. The pointer frequencies may now be used to access an array of num integers. The first integer is addressed as frequencies and accessed as frequencies index 0, and the last integer in the array may be accessed as frequencies num minus 1. Now we will be discussing on drawbacks of pointers. Here we are discussing two drawbacks in pointers: dangling pointers and memory leak. For further clarification of these drawbacks, we are using animation.